Ben Carson moving into a statistical tie now with Donald Trump atop the latest Fox News polling. And now Carson is winning another all-important contest, the fundraising battle. The retired neurosurgeon putting to rest fears that he could not compete with established politicians by raking in $20 million reportedly in the third quarter alone. Let's bring in WPA polling vice president and Republican strategist Lisa Boothe. Lisa.
Hi, Sandra. Good morning.
Hi, good morning to you. I think this is taking a couple people by surprise, at least a couple this morning. What do you think?
Well, I absolutely think it is. As you mentioned, I think a lot of people thought someone like Ben Carson or Donald Trump couldn't compete with some of these establishment candidates, but Ben Carson is proving some people wrong right now. And it's incredibly important for a lot of these candidates to be able to fundraise, because it's important to remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint. You've got to be able to go to the distance, especially with so many candidates and a lot of candidates who have been able to raise money. So it's important for Ben Carson, if he wants to stay in this, if he wants to continue to poll at the top, if he wants to actually be able to turn out voters in some of these early primary states, it's very important for him to be able to have the resources to do so.
I have to ask you, Lisa, though, is it taking you by surprise that Dr. Ben Carson, this retired neurosurgeon, to start off, he had a slow start, but he is slowly creeping up in the polls. The trend has been very positive for him. And his performance in the debates has been ruled pretty good by most critics.
Yeah, no, he's done a pretty good job during the debate. I mean, I wouldn't say he's been, one of the stronger Republican contenders in the debates, but he's held his own. He's done pretty solid. But, it does surprise me a little bit that he's continued to creep up here. But I think what we're seeing in the polls is that a lot of Americans are still very, against the establishment. We're seeing one of the more anti-establishment electorates than we've seen for a while. And so that continues to hold true in the polls when we see some of these outsider candidates, so to speak, with Donald Trump and Ben Carson and Carly Fiorina to continue to, grab the top 5 spots.
I mean, Dagen, if the election were held today, according to this latest Fox News poll, and Mike, I want to bring you in as well, 50% say they would vote Carson versus Clinton, 39%.
Yep.
45% Trump versus 40% Clinton. I mean, these are unbelievable numbers that he's garnering right
She
now.
loses in head-to-head matchups with at least Carson, Trump, Fiorina, and Bush, if that tells you at her likability problem, which the Democrats seem to think just disappeared overnight after that debate performance. But I don't know what I can't, and Lisa can speak to this, and Mike can too. I don't know what changes the attitude of American voters, that they're not going to all of a sudden go from somebody they think is on the outside of politics to somebody who's on the inside. That's not something that changes on a dime.
That, I think, is the key. I think at some point one of these established politicians is going to make a run, and it's going to be one of the outside guys versus one of the inside guys. But none of them. Bush can't keep the momentum. Rubio had it for a minute, and he can't keep it. Fiorina had it after the debate. She can't keep it. The only people who are steadily up there are both Trump and Carson, and it's shocking to me.
All right, Lisa, we've got to leave it there. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Lisa Boothe.